All right. So we are going live with our first AshSwarm Elixir stream, officially migrating away from Python uh, for reasons. And let's start taking a tour of what we got. Nice. I'm assuming that was Batman, but we got to start calling. Do you prefer Strutter or
Strutter works.
okay? Because I can't keep calling you Batman for copyright purposes. All right, we got Strutter on deck. We got who else? We got Ken on deck. This is the homies in the Ash Elixir channel. We also have the Chapman GPT server where we got an Ash Swarm room. It's where it's popping off. I'm live in San Francisco right now for the Code Beam USA. I didn't have a ticket. It's a long story I'm not going to go into, but you're here for the tech, so let's get into that. All right. So let's see what ChatGPT says we should talk about, cover. Okay. AshSwarm, Ash.Reactor, and Phoenix. Yeah, it's good start. So let's go to here, localhost 4000. Okay, let's, oh, this is all of that stuff that isn't, I thought I fixed that. All right, I killed the crash on warnings. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so here is our AshSwarm landing page. It's going to be changing, but this is the gist of it. Looks pretty cool. Yeah. So basically, with AshSwarm, the goal is. Oh, actually, I don't think I'm sharing my screen on YouTube. All right.
Is that in the main?
Yeah, right now that's on the main in the web. All right, cool. Now we're going to start over again. And we'll record another video later doing the infinity string thing. All right. Take two. Here is the AshSwarm landing page as it stands right now. So the goal is to create a agent framework. I got my whole reasons around that, but basically people are creating these agent frameworks. They're basically LLMs calling functions. Nothing wrong with that, but in reality, these should be workflows and data. So the good stuff for the workflows and data is the Ash HQ project. So highly recommend the book. Ash is a cool framework. We'll go over all this stuff later, but right now we're just kind of sticking with what we're doing here. So a good way to show off what we're doing is this Oban job. Okay, so every single second or minute, I'm asking this question, like the open group architecture framework documentation for closed swarm, right? Now here it's talking about it as opposed to actually doing it, which is fine. I'm not actually, and here you can see it's executing. I can get into what all these things look like later, but basically recognize that, for the last 43 minutes or so, it's been running this job. So you can imagine any kind of workflow task could be in here. So for instance, shout out to the Oban people. They have this YouTube video where it's like Oban 1 million talk. Oh, I have this content blocker on my computer to help me focus. So let's go to YouTube. Sorry, not YouTube. Let's go to Google, and we can say Oban 1 million jobs. Yeah, 1 million jobs in a minute with Oban. So imagine a million jobs a minute, right, for the LLMs. So imagine a million LLM calls every minute. This is what you're basically looking at. So right now we're working on all the tooling to manage this. We got a lot of really cool stuff there. I recommend going to the GitHub. So, pull requests. We got, 6 stars. Pretty pumped about that. And so basically kind of go over all the stuff, what we're thinking about. And, it talks about idea that we can have many small tasks, according to solve real problems in a well-defined incremental way rather than using large monolithic agent loops, right? So we'll go over what the loop looks like here, and then we'll kind of go over some frameworks. I'd say the closest one for what we're doing is called Jito. Actually, we'll get into that right now. So Jito AI, they're doing some cool stuff. It's just a matter of the fact is they did all this stuff. So they're using Instructor, no big deal. But they're doing all this workflow stuff by hand, right? So this politician example, you'll see it in the Instructor documentation. But here, basically, it's running a chat completion. And so then it's a workflow. But the thing about it is that if you use the Ash.Reactor, Ash.Reactor has all of these capabilities. Now, it's not really showing the capabilities, but it has a lot of really interesting capabilities that we're building on top of, right? One of the big things is not having to build everything from scratch. So one of the things that even in the Jito framework to kind of acknowledge, not that we talked to it, but to even kind of go to what I was saying, is you can see 5 days ago, experimental exploration of Ash, and the exploration is empty. So, and yeah, there's just so much stuff that this person had to write from scratch. So, for instance, we have the jobs Oban. We didn't have to write that. We also have this admin that Ash comes with. That's really cool. That lets you, it automatically creates relationships, and you can be specific about, the create, read, update, delete type stuff. This ask, right? Ask a question. Hello world. Let's see if it works. Can run it. Success. Hello world. Right. So if but it's a good question. It's like, what is Elixir Ash? Yeah, see? So here I have a fully working LLM application without coding anything. Like, this is just how the Ash framework works. And so, this is out of the box. The read action, it's not saving it, so this is something different. But I just to kind of like show you guys what I mean. And so we got that. I can show some of the stuff that I've worked on in the past that I'm porting over. So there's even like, I'm learning LiveView. There's a lot of really cool stuff that we're doing. What else do we have going on in Swarm? So we got a lot of really cool stuff. We got so many people, but it's hard to talk and go back. We'll do a better roundup later. Strutter contributing a lot. Igor contributing a lot. We can go to, not agent, AshSwarm again. Oh, no, AshSwarm actions. All right, so when we look at here, some of the really cool stuff we have, I wrote this live book on domain reasoning. So this was a big motivation for this. So I'm going to scroll down. I talk about this a lot, but basically you could design singular Ash resources. But what I'm doing the thing that's the hardest to figure out is what are the relationships between the resources. So for anybody that's done any kind of data modeling, they'll understand that this is a hard thing to do. And this is what I'm having the large language model think about. And then it explains its reasoning. So when it explains its reasoning, we could have another LLM or a reactor job review this and come up with feedback. And we could have, if we had enough LLM, 1 million of them per minute. And so that's kind of the power of Elixir. That's why we're doing this, is that there's no way you could do 1 million jobs in any other. So let's, for instance, let's do a quick one for people that are new to Ash or Oban or whatever. So we'll go to ChatGPT and we'll just say, we'll just say, what is the most popular cloud job runner? Okay. Perfect. Provision resources for job execution, right? So, and so what we can say is, for each, can you estimate how much 1 million jobs would cost? High and low for each. Yeah. So, I mean, we're talking about serious money, and we're talking about every minute. So you could think about it as essentially every minute. You know, of course, there's other things going into the jobs, but still, like, this is just an estimate. Like, we can put it another way. People are paying this much right now, right? Like, the people pay these amounts. So if we were able to offer the same value or the same jobs at a discount, that's money. So that's, for instance, why this is so important, and why we'll do this. Why this is so important. We'll do 4,000. Oh.
Did you include, or how long has the OBAN been in the project so far?
An AshSwarm?
Yes.
Oh, from the very beginning. So I will figure out how long AshSwarm has been around.
Because I thought you had introduced a new OBAN feature recently.
No, I just put it in the. So I just put this in right now. Like, so the server was in, but this job I just put in. It was in a different project before.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, you probably haven't seen it, so you might want to look at, if you just want to see the precursor to some of this stuff. I had this project called Glass, and so this was my original test bed for Elixir stuff. So 2 weeks ago, this is the precursor to AshSwarm. We'll go to here. So
nice, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, just so you can see it in this project. Actually, it's because it's the same code. I can show it to you what it looks like. So, and actually, this is a good education for you to see what the Oban loop looks like. So if we go into config, here in the top, we have this cron tab job, right? So this is basically saying every minute, ask this question. Now here, this is a trivial question. Here, this is definitely a non-trivial question. It's the execution. I don't know why. Okay, one of the executions failed, but whatever, it's still working, right? These are some architecture vision, business data application technology architecture, right? So if we were able to get this to, instead of just saying random stuff, important stuff, But yeah, so actually, Strader, this would be where you'd probably want to run your stuff, is in one of these jobs. Because if we look at, actually, I'm going to open up Glass in this just so that makes more sense for developers. Actually, that's going to crash what I was running, but whatever. We'll look at it here like bit by bit. Okay. Well, and I guess this is good for you because you're the target audience. All right. So here we have a cron job that runs every minute. It asks this trivial thing. But if we go to the Glass LLM job saga, so we go to lib, Glass, LLM, job saga. Basically what this is doing is it's an Oban worker. So this is the verb, right?
And this is before you decided to go with instructor X for structured outputs?
No, this is still using instructor X. I'll get to that. It'll make a lot of sense because you'll see some stuff that you've seen before. Okay, but this is how you're running a job. And so we're matching on question. So we're running it. We're logging it. Okay, so then we're encoding the result to get the struct from the result. And we get the job metadata. We update the job metadata. So we just update the repo of the job, meaning in the database, we're like updating it because otherwise it doesn't have this in there. So we have this. But the important part, if you notice, is this reactor run, right? So if we do reactor run, we go to the QA saga, reactors are sagas. I just put saga because it's shorter than reactor and it's not redundant, but whatever. All right, this is a Ash.Reactor. So here we are using the input and then we are calling the action on the question. And so we're naming our step ask question. And so we're returning the result of the step. On question, we're calling ask. The input we're giving it is the question, right? And so then we look at the question. So we have this, it's storing an ETS, which is like in-memory storage. We look at our actions. We have a read, destroy, create. And what you can do in the create is question and answer, and then update is question and answer. So the reason why I made it this way is that you can use the question. This contains the function to do the behavior, right? So this is the instructor helper gen. So this is the map that is the structured, right? This would be this would be the equivalent of the ecto schema. Or we could do this, copy and say, so we can say, show that as an ecto schema. And so this should help connect the dots for the, okay, well, it's doing that. So actually you can see that an ecto schema is very similar to what Ash kind of looks like, right? So it's, instead I would say, show answer, or we just use show percentage. So we'll stop it and say show percentage. Okay, it didn't work. We'll try it. Oops. We'll try it one more time. Okay, so whatever. But you can see percentage, right? So instead of percentage, you could say answer. So we can say one more time for ecto. So now I'm learning how to phrase it better. So I say, show me an ecto schema with just answer string in it. This is how to phrase it. Okay, so as far as instructor EX is concerned, these are equivalent. This is what you would pass to it. And so here you get answer. And so we're saying we're matching on, if I got okay answer, we're good. But If not, we got an error, handle it. And then these are the properties. But we also have in the LLM domain, actually, I accidentally deleted it locally, so it's somewhere. Imagine we have a domain. But anyway, so that's the thing. We have the QA Saga, which is a Ash.Reactor, which calls the action on the question called ask. This is the action called ask. And so does that kind of close the loop?
Yes, I definitely understand.
Cool. So I'm going to show like an older project, something that we're going to use as not inspiration, but this was an exercise that I did with Nuxt. I'm switching from Nuxt to Phoenix. I'm learning. So Nuxt is a JavaScript technology, but I basically built the equivalent of like Crew AI in Bolt New. And then I modified it in Nuxt. So it's gonna need a little bit of, some of it's not gonna be looking correct just because the way that it got pulled. So this is just your average Nuxt Pro template. But if we go to agent, so here there's some stuff you can do like voice navigation, but basically like you can add agents, generate fake data for an agent, create, that doesn't work because it's all fake. You can do like agent 1 or not agents 1, I think. I don't know what. Everything's going crazy. All right. Let's see if we can find it in Bolt. It's been a little while, but I've been enjoying Bolt.new. It's been pretty cool. Found out I could do like poor man's LiveView. I'm pretty bad about naming these though. No, we're not going to find it. Anyway, never mind. But we'll go back. You know what we'll do? We'll go back to this is not running. We'll go back to here, and we'll do mix phx.serve. This is always fucking up. I don't know why I was. What are we switching to? Oh yeah, so I got a marketplace. We're working on Ash Marketplace as well. This is the kind of top secret, not top secret, but this is the one that's not public, just because I'm using a library called Pedal Pro. Oh, it's this. The fuck? I changed it. Well, you're just gonna have to sit and watch me do it live. So we have the Ash Market. I swear I changed it in the mix. Yeah, that's supposed to be different.
I'll be right back.
No problem. Where's Elixir? What did it say? Yeah. Oh, tool.versions. So that was the problem. Oops. Okay, so we go to here. So Pedal Pro is a paid template type thing. So it looks way fancier. So it's in progress. Okay, and the dashboard's off. Let's go back to Fort. Yeah, so anyway, this is going to be the new home for the Ash Marketplace. Ash Marketplace is going to be big ticket type stuff. So that's that. Let's see if anybody's on YouTube. No, nobody's on YouTube. All right, we'll end the stream there.